We are here to discuss Fearless. Mohinder Amarnath embodies fearlessness in Indian cricket, one of the greatest cricketers to have played for India. Written by Rajinder Amarnath, Mohinder Amarnath's memoir, Fearless. Jimmy Paji, congratulations. Firstly, I've read the book from cover to cover, so I can tell you it's very exciting. You've given us a lot of stuff to talk on. Any favorite things? Of course, your comeback and West Indies and the World Cup. But when you were writing, when you were co-writing, the first thing that you would say that defines you.
I'm a simple man, actually. To be very honest, I keep things very simple. And no, I was thinking of writing this for a long time, and I did try with a couple of people. It didn't work, and finally, when I spoke to Rajinder, and then we finally decided to go ahead. And I wanted to share my, experience with the public, basically. The reason for that, because the kind of love and affection I got it from Indian people, and when I was making comeback, the way they would boost my confidence, and they would come in bigger numbers, and they had a lot of faith in me. So I think I didn't need anybody else, to be very honest. I think I believed in God, and I had dad at home, so he was my mentor, he was my father, he was my teacher, he was my raw mark dikhane wala, he was far-sighted person, like, so I didn't worry, didn't bother about anything in life as such. And I always took one day at a time. Believe in today, I still believe in today, and that kept me going.
बट क्या जर्नी है आई मीन कम बैक के बाद कम
Yeah.
बैक वो तो ऐसे ही हम लोग जानते थे बट यू गिवन अस सो मच मोर डिटेल वेदर इट्स द वर्ल्ड कप मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि आपको वर्ल्ड कप टीम के बारे में बीसीसीआई से खबर नहीं था आपने इंग्लैंड आप कोई दोस्त ने आपको इन्फॉर्म किया दीज आर लिटिल एनेक्डोट्स व्हिच आर फैसिनेटिंग जिमी पाजी
नहीं, आई थिंक क्रिकेट वैसा ही था उस टाइम. आई डोंट थिंक पीपल हैड एनी फेथ इन इंडियन क्रिकेट एट ऑल और द इंडियन टीम इन 1983. एंड ऐसे कि ये पहला वर्ल्ड कप क्या कुछ नहीं किया, सेकंड में कुछ नहीं था, यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे. सो आई थिंक थिंग्स वर, आई थिंक, मोर रिलैक्स, आई पुट इट दैट वे. दे डिडंट बॉदर to inform or tell ki what exactly the program and the tour and where one has to. I think I came to know later. So these things used to happen at that time. That also showed that they didn't have any faith in the team at all.
what was the most difficult part to
Yeah.
write? Because to bring out fearlessness, Michael Holding saying perhaps the most fearless cricketer ever, and the way you described the West Indies, that 1976 or even later. Tell me which was your favorite chapter to write?
Bunch of jokers.
Yeah,
Bunch of
bunch of
jokers.
jokes.
Definitely, because that's a turning point, not only in Jimmy's life, turning point for a lot of cricketers, because they could now stand up to BCCI. Before that, nobody could stand to BCCI except my father had done it in 1948.
Yeah, the whole Demelo
Whole
controversy.
Demello.
Yes.
So he had taken the bull by his horn then, and then came Jimmy. And I think that came out after I think he's been rubbed the wrong way for a very long time. And I wanted people to know exactly why he called them bunch of jokers. Otherwise, that phrase would have just died. So that was one chapter I looked forward to write.
सेम सवाल अगर इन्होंने बोल ही दिया तो bunch of jokers when you look back that has become your iconic statement. Were you angry? Did it come? Would you have said it again?
See, I had enough of them, to be very honest. I had such raw deals over the period of time. And I knew I was more talented than a lot of people. But for me, rules were different. Like probably it had something to do with Amarnath name. I cannot think of anything else. And my brother also suffered, Surinder. It's not that I was the only one, even like he had a raw deal. But the only way I thought I would keep going and keep making comebacks and that to just speak the truth. I knew like when I said that things would be very difficult for me, but I didn't lose heart actually, even at that time. I knew that if I get an opportunity, I would still make a comeback, and I did. It's not that I did not. And cricket is such game that you have to keep performing. When you keep performing and exceptionally performing, not really with an average performance, so they cannot ignore it. I still believe life is such, like when you're down, you don't have friends because everybody
Yeah.
gives you different advice and they say do this or forget it, retire, this and that. Many things happens. But you have to have faith in, I had a lot of faith in my abilities. I had faith in myself. I knew I can achieve more. And to prove somebody wrong, the best way to go, just keep going and just keep performing.
Paji, we talk about mental health these days, right? It has become so important. After reading, what would you have gone through? I mean, there was no conception of looking after someone's mental health when you are being given one raw deal after another. How tough was it?
Yeah, I think depends on individual, and I don't believe that you need anybody. So you have to sort out your own problems. You don't, because end of the day, when you're in the middle, doesn't matter how many help you have, what people have decided, what they have suggested, but still you have to face your own music. You cannot look for some help over there. So mentally, you have to be very tough, and you have to think one way or the other that I'm the best, and I can do it, and I'll make sure that I'll do it.
In memoirs, Rajender, what happens is it's often unilateral. It goes, without a shade of grey. It's from A to B. This is one memoir that has its shades of grey. Even when there is a comparison between Imran and Gavaskar as captain, Jimmy Paji says Mr. Gavaskar was focused on his own batting more rather than sort of building the team, and perhaps he's rated Imran as a better captain. Was it difficult to write such things, because they are clearly volatile statements which will lead to a lot of debate?
There is all truth. He has not hidden his feelings. What he saw on the field, he just put it down. And also, when the captain is focusing on himself rather than looking at those players who are really struggling on the tour, a good captain is the one who speaks to the struggling players and get them out of that situation, which Imran was doing. He was talking continuously with his teammates, where Gavaskar was not at all.
Last two questions. One, you've written Michael Holding was bowling perhaps 100 plus. At no point there was a speed gun, no protective gear. You could have died.
No, you don't think that way on the field.
But are you? How can you not be scared?
No, not scared. I think when you're representing your country, you don't think the other person is better than you. You just accept the challenge. You know your shortcoming. You know somebody has an upper hand, or he has better pace or better strength. So you work around how you're going to go about it. Maybe you don't attack one person, you attack others. So it's like I think it's like you're at the border fighting an enemy. And you have to see which is the best way to go and attack these guys and get the best out of that.
Semi-final man of the match, final man of the match, highest point.
Yeah, they were very pleasing, and I won't say it was the highest, to be very honest. But I was happy that it helped the team to win the semis and the final, and we became the world champions.
Last question for you. Word for your readers.
Well, if you have to read this book, I think it's a pathfinder for a lot of youngsters. If you're trying to become an international cricketer, the kind of problems you're going to face, the kind of hurdles that are going to be there in life, this is one book which will give you a way to look at it. You can find a path, you can reach your goal, and also reaching the top is never easy. So this book is going to tell you a lot of things, what you need to do or what you need not to do.
So there you go. Fearless. Mohinder Amarnath with Rajender Amarnath, a memoir. Today we are launching it in Delhi. As you will see this broadcast a day after, we are celebrating Jimmy Paji, and of course we are celebrating the bond that this family has. The book starts with an incredible thing about gun salute being given when he was born and he fainted, and then his mom said, we've got to do it again because my son can't be a coward. Read the book, trust me. I've read it from cover to cover. I can recommend Fearless. You will love it. Mohinder Amarnath, Rajender Amarnath, many congratulations. And for everyone who will pick it up, all the very best. Thank you.